Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome back, finally, once again, to Hallyujuku. I'm Petey Brave, your man with no plan. Here with me, of course, in his finest airport fashion mask, or just regular. That's limited to airport. That it's not. I won't limit it to the airport. It's good everyday fashion accessory. Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing good. Trying to talk through this thing is a little bit difficult, but I.
We're here. We're hanging out, talking about East Asian pop culture, talking about some K-pop and the like. Mostly K-pop, but we have some other things going on. Of course, we start off every episode talking about what's new. Kaz. Well, the first thing. God dang it! This is what happens when I freaking when I've got the hotkeys set to different things. I'm trying to do things. Talk about what's new. Before we talk about the songs we picked, and either one of us picked, there's some big releases that happened this week. Namely YG releases. YG finally delivering, I guess. YG finally delivering. I guess maybe kinda a little bit. First off, we have the official. This time it's actually officially her debut. They even said so. Official American debut of 21's CL Ichirin Lifted. It's partially inspired by and samples or at least works the lyric around Method Man lyric. Lifted. Okay. It's a very kind of like seems to kind of want to be a very chill hip hop track. It does feature CL singing more than necessarily rapping, although she's like sing raps. It's like that CL sing rap kind of thing, you know.
Kind of her, though.
Yeah, it's like that.
She raps sometimes, but this is generally what she does.
Yeah. Apparently she's Vape Nation. From what I can tell in this video, she has a 40 and she has a shorty. She's about to get lifted. Kaz, what do you think of CL's American debut, her grand debut?
The sad thing about it is it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, yeah, no, above all things, it's not bad. That's
yeah. And for most people, I know most people are automatically going to be like, yo, what the fuck? What? What? Why are you saying that? And it's just because I didn't have great expectations coming out of this. 2NE1 was trying to make a break into America for the longest time anyway. Like, I'm starting to surmise that was partially their downfall, that they couldn't make the American debut the way that they wanted them to. And because there's so much, if you look at their history, that they wanted to be the American K-pop group. They wanted to be that so hard. Working with will.i.am, working with Pharrell, like all these things that they did, but that you never really heard about or really never heard from. And for some reason, all those hopes and dreams have been placed in and on CL, and I feel like that was this is what we are watching here right now is what the demise of 2NE1 was, because they were like, you know what, CL can make that break into the American market, like, but I don't think the rest of the group can make that break into the American market. And yeah, those are salty remarks from a 2NE1 fan and a person who's not the biggest CL fan. Like, but all in all, it's not a bad song. It's a fun, silly 90s style inspired video. There's way too much vaping in it, and that's just life.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of vaping in life. Vape Nation and whatnot.
I don't think there is.
Yeah, no, there's just a lot of stores. Like the Florida SuperCon last year had a vape booth, like like a vape juice booth. I think more than one of a booze for vape juice. Yeah, it's not a bad song. The thing is, it's not a great song, and it's not a very memorable song. Except for the hook is pretty good. The hook is kind of catchy, but it's not a super memorable song. It's kind of just safe. Like it just kind of is a safe song. It's God, reaction videos. I hate them. I hate reaction video captions, and they bother me. Reaction video thumbnails. I mean, God, no, that face, no, it's stupid. Stop it. Say what you want about hella bitches, and we did. At least that was memorable. like you remember that shit. Like it stuck with you. You hated yourself for it, but at least it was memorable. This is like, it's a chill track, and
we've talked about this before. We've talked about breaking into a market and coming into a market and being safe. Like that's what you do. It's what happens. Like there's no real way around that.
The real bummer is that you wish that they would the thing is that a lot of times what will break you into a different market instead of doing what you think is expected, sometimes actually, and it sounds like a risk, actually putting forward something that shows your unique attributes and something different and unique will break in and catch people's attention maybe a little bit better than trying to kind of like, put a song in the video with as many different things that appeal to as many different markets as possible. Like, it's like, all right, let's have the skinny black dudes that can contort themselves. All right, let's get a couple of those guys. Let's get some people to vaping. Let's get some skateboarders. let's get a block party. Like all of these things that are like the cliche things to do. I don't know. It's not a bad song, but it's not a great song. And I think we can move on from there. Speaking of YG finally delivering,
so can I say, right? I didn't really listen to these songs. I have since this story that I'm gonna tell, but I recently am back from a convention, and the story of the convention was, hey, and this was just the what you hear in passing, but hey, you hear the new Blackpink, and then you kind of put your ear out like, oh, what are people saying? What is going on? Because I hear people talking about Blackpink, and it would always end in like, oh, you mean the poor man's 2NE1? Fuck that shit.
Like, God damn it, yeah.
Every time I heard somebody bring up Blackpink, it's just like, hey. That Blackpink video just released, and you see people looking at their phones, and then one of their friends be like, "Get out of here with that poor ass man's 2NE1. Fuck that shit." Just like, well, there you go. There is the.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about it. So there's a couple of reasons. Let's talk about with the first release, kind of the more chill of the two releases. We have Blackpink's. They came out with 2 songs, debuted. First one is Hiparam, or whistle. Make them whistle like a missile. Bomb, bomb. It's a little bit more of the chill one of the two. Uses the whistle. Okay, so I'm gonna say this for both of these songs. It's not a bad song. It's a good song. I like it. Yeah. The thing about it, yeah, it does have that like late 2000s, that like debut era 21 like stuff. But there's a reason for that because it's Teddy Park. Like, but yeah, like we're talking about them songs.
Neither one of them are bad songs.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are necessarily bad songs.
Yeah.
And that is because I will defend fucking Teddy Park. He's a good producer. And we have had this discussion about 2NE1 getting off the Teddy Park train and trying to get on the every other fucking producer train and then fucking up. Like, because those tracks were trash. Because you go from the in-house dude who's creative and knows what the fuck he's doing and knows how to work with the group to these motherfuckers who just are like, you're gonna work in my system. That's like when you have a coach who's been winning you championships, and that one year he doesn't win you a fucking championship, you fire him and you bring in the new hot guy and he's a fuck up, but you gotta believe in him now because you're already paying him $10 million fucking dollars. So you're like, oh yeah, no, this guy is the dream. He's going to bring in the dream. It's a rebuilding year. Don't fucking worry. We're going to get back to our championship winning ways. And the rest of the fans are just standing on the sidelines like, I think you fucked up. I think you fucked up. I think you fucked up. And you're like, nah, don't worry. We got this. And they're like, there's still time. We could bring back the other guy and just act like this shit didn't happen. And they're like, nah. And then he goes and gets a new team. And guess what? He wins a fucking championship.
Oh yeah, the looking at the chart success of these songs have been, they won a championship. But yeah, what do you think of the We Bottom Whistle?
Whistle isn't that great. Of the two, it's not bad. I like it, but the other song won me over a lot more.
Yeah, I think this one's. I like this one. It's tough. I think there's more to kind of cling on to in the second song, which we'll talk about in a second. But I really like a lot of the things on this one, with the instrumental and the kind of the pace of it, and the visuals are fun of the video. It just kind of has a cool feel to it. But yeah, the other track, Boombaya. This one is definitely has even that more of a old school 21 feel. Boombaya, it's the more hype of the two tracks. It's the more exciting of the two tracks. It has more of that energy. It's a good song. It definitely, like I said, definitely has that early 21 vibe. But you can kind of forgive it for that.
I have to get used to these girls' voices.
Yeah.
Because I'm not super into their voices and their vocalization. Like, I like the songs, I'm just not super into them yet. And I don't know if it's my YG diss bias at this point now, but it's just like,
I would say, yeah.
Like, vocally, they're so generic.
I would say a big, from what I can feel, especially like specifically the singing, I think it's Teddy Park trying to make him sing the same way he made 21 sing back in the day, as vocalists. I think they themselves, we'll have to see as they get a chance to kind of maybe be given songs that are less Teddy Park reaching into the well and more him figuring out what he wants to do with them. Because like, I think what I've found and what I've thought with these two songs is, I think execution-wise and what was given for the girls to execute, they executed fantastically. I didn't mind the singing. Even I think that a lot of it was the direction by Teddy Park. They dance well. They have great visuals. I think the only complaints people had mainly was Teddy Park kind of going back to the well. That old, it sounded like old 21, and him just kind of bringing out like like these old tracks that he had lying around that he never got around to being to 21. And it's like, all right, I'll give it to you guys. It's I think the main thing that you'd be able to complain about, if you wanted to complain about anything, I think this is a very promising start. And it's a very successful start because they kind of dominated the charts right off the bat, which with good reason because they had the backing of YG and the promotion of YG. So they're doing well. I think I'm looking forward to seeing how they going forward, what the next step is. Because I think these were really good and enjoyable songs, and I like I said, I've been jamming to them. Like I'll bust out that's every once in a while. Just like one of these songs will be the first song I play on my commute to work, to start up my K-pop playlist. Like I'll have it on shuffle, but I'll start with like the Blackpink song, just gonna get me going, and I've enjoyed them fantastically.
Yeah, we'll see. That definitely is. Well, I think it's less the him going to the well kind of thing, and more of a safety net. I know this works. Trust me, kind of thing. Get to that point where they're like, "Well, I like doing these kind of vocals, or I like doing these kind of raps. Like, can we get more of that?" When they start to really, really have their own voice and they're willing to kind of stand up for their type of vocalization and how they want to do their vocalization. That's when I think I will kind of respect that. But like right now, I don't know. It just sounds it has this really good sound, but it sounds super generic coming from them, in a sense. But I don't hate it in any way. Like I kind of wanted to, but I don't.
Yeah.
So
one thing
win for YG this week.
So overall, we didn't hate what YG put out. Man, it's been a roller coaster with us and YG, just up and down. We had it. We had it. Yeah. But yeah, Kaz, let's talk about what's caught our attention besides that. Kaz, what's new with you?
New with me this week, thanks to you, is this track by the boys from AOMG, called City Breeze, which is like, when we speak about 90s references, this is taking it to a whole another level, man. Like,
it's J Park and Gideon of AOMG,
yeah. And it's just super fun because it just is so super referential. Like, it's so super referential to like the 90s era of stuff. Like, there's like crisscross shit in here, and like just the style is so like 90s, like
that old
fucking
school,
J Park wearing that
jersey.
Seattle Mariners jersey.
That throwback Mariners
like we both
jersey.
keyed on the Mariners jersey.
Yeah. Repping his hometown. Can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and get in wearing his jersey backwards.
Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like they went to one of those photo booths where you could do like glamour shots, and then J Park was like, "Yo, what if we did a whole video like this?" And they were like, "Haha," and he was like, "No, I'm serious."
I was like, okay. it's like do you know the shirtless jacket thing? Like,
yeah, that fucking Bobby Brown style.
Yeah. God damn it. With all the times that I've compared him to Chris Brown, now we compare him to Bobby Brown, man. Like, I'm you know what? He's like them, but he didn't beat nobody, so you know what?
he even did his rap in that kind of 90s style too. Like,
Yeah.
just,
It's fantastic. It's fun. It's so fun. You gotta leave it up for Jay Park. Pachi Bum.
yeah.
Good job.
Like he like, this is those things that when he tries to do like the super thuggy shit, and it makes me like dislike Jay Park.
Yeah.
And then I'll in that next vein, like let's say in an Instagram scram, I'll then see a clip from him on like Korean SNL, and I realize he's in on the fucking joke.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like I just saw him try to do something super thuggish, and I'm like, what the fuck, Jay Park? Seriously? Then I scroll down, and this was the next post, and I'm like, oh, Jay Park, you silly fuck. Like, I forget that you're in on the joke.
Yeah. You know, part of his. I think somebody like there was some comments on Asian Junkie that said like, you know, sometimes he's this, sometimes, you know, like he's this giant fuck boy. And somebody else would put it out, I was like, well, you know what? I like the fact that he's a giant fuckboy. It's part of his cheesy appeal. It's like his fuckboyism.
All right. Moving on. Jay Park too long. A song from Lucy. Now this is a like, I think it's from last month. Yeah, July. And he has a new one out this week. The new one is shit. So I went with the good one. So, like, seriously, that new song is just terrible. But this is Lucy featuring the person who's getting all of the attention in Korean hip hop right now, Flowsick.
Yeah.
Mainly because of his voice. Like Flowsick is getting a lot of attention right now because of his voice. But I don't know. I don't know how I didn't come across this song last month, because it's really good. I really actually like it. And the thing that surprised me was because when I was looking for stuff, I saw Lucy's new song that came out this week, and then I was just like, man, this is kind of trash. Like, I was like, ugh. And then I saw the link to the one with him in Flowsick, and I was like, oh man, Flowsick. And I went and looked at it, I was like, is this the same person? Like,
yeah, maybe Flowsick kept him in line. Yeah, like,
yeah.
It's a cool track. It's like, it's very much braggadocious and hype, kind of a hip hop track. It's but it does have a good like attitude towards it. It's got attitude. It's got the tude.
Yeah.
Attitude City.
And I will say in the giving somebody attention because of a certain aspect, like giving Flowsick so much attention because of his voice is fine, but he actually is a pretty good rapper.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna deny that he's actually a pretty good rapper.
Yeah. So you know what? Whatever, you know, whether it's getting your girl group attention because of a fan cam, or, you know, getting your song's attention because of your particular voice, you know, whatever gets people to, you know, look towards you, and you know, it's a good thing as long as you can then keep their attention after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because all those weird things will only make them turn their heads towards you. Not going to make them stay watching you. Like, because if they turn their head toward you, then they really don't notice anything that they give a shit about. They'll just kind of turn their heads away to the next thing.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, if he's got what it takes to then keep their attention with something to back it up. Yeah.
And I don't want to say, like, and for the people out there who are going to be like, hey, you know, Flowsick's been around before his appearance on Show Me the Money. Like, I know that. I understand that. I forget the name of the group that he was a part of that got a lot of attention too.
Yeah.
And I understand they got a lot of attention back in the day, but you gotta realize, in the media hype, when it comes to, hey, where does this person's story start? For a lot of people, it's gonna be Show Me the Money for Flowsick, like, because that's what it is. Like, that's where he got that solo attention a lot. So I'm not disrespecting him in any way or saying
Asiatics.
look at him, he's another prospect of that show me the money hype. No, but I'm saying, like, even with all that, he's good at the craft that he is, and I'm glad he's getting that attention. Like, so.
Asiatics is the group. Apparently, they were in 2013. They signed to Cash Money Records. 2013. I think probably a good half a decade or more after Cash Money Records was worth signing to. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. So, like I said, like I've heard of them before that moment, like, and I want to make that well known. So fuck you, like.
All right, that was a dumb statement that I just made because apparently Drake's been signed to them since 2009. So.
Yeah, but that's Drake, and like, you got the diamonds in the rough, and then you got the other people who are like, oh, we can follow that light, and they're like, oh, nope, fell in the trap.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a Drake.
It's more like Drake signed. It's more like Drake signed Cash Money Records to be his distributor, to be his label, so he has a label.
Every so often, a trash team gets a good player. If I'm going to keep making sports references today, you're like, how the fuck did they sign that person?
We got Ichiro. Fuck.
Yo, motherfucker, they freed up money. Like,
yeah.
All right.
Moving
Kunst. Beside me, I had to look. I don't know why I had to look again. And I also have to sneak.
What?
But featuring B-Way, YDG, and Sura. This goddamn song it's so good. Like, me and Petey were talking on one of the last episodes about how awesome fucking YDG is. And, like, this is just more awesome YDG and awesome ass B-Way. Like...
Yeah, the track is cool. Like, it has a cool, like, vibe to it and emotion to it. And anything that involves Sudan, it's gonna catch my attention.
Yeah. Like, as soon as I saw YDG's name on this, I was like, all right, this is probably a track worth listening to. Like,
Yeah.
He's almost do no wrong. Almost.
Like,
he has some moments.
And BY is definitely getting a lot of speaking of people getting attention from showing them the money, BY is getting a lot of attention. I've noticed it from like female like people professing their fandom to him, like especially like the ladies. He seems to be getting the ladies' attention. Like it's definitely interesting to see how the power of the exposure of Show Me the Money. For as much as we lament the show itself and Unpretty Rapstar, the fact that it does get people attention, it does give a stage to certain rappers to kind of find some new audiences. So it's like, maybe it's for any means to an end,
Yeah, like I feel like it does better than a lot of these American shows have done, where it's like legitimately only the winners really get attention. Like, there are maybe a few people while the show is in the midst of his hype that those people would get attention. Like, where Show Me the Money and Unpretty Rapstar, like, those people go on there and there'll be a guy who'll get out in the first 3 rounds, but he gets attention, like because he was like really good. And you start hearing him on a few tracks, and he shows how great he really is. Like, so I think it's really good for that, and I'm enjoying that.
Yeah. So as long we don't have to watch the show, but at least we can appreciate the
product of it. Yeah,
the byproduct of it.
I also love in this video how much of a method actor YDG is. Like, there is just if you watch this show, just if you kind of passively listen to it or whatever, this is the one time I want you to go watch a video we're talking about. Like, because YDG is just amazing, man. Like, he's like doing a whole theater show in this fucking video.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's fantastic. It's pretty fantastic. See them lying in the ground in that whatever it is on the ground. That's like laundry powder or whatever. Yeah. Cool stuff from the team, the team of BYYDG and them folks. But yeah, what's new with me? Just a few tracks that caught my attention. A couple girl group related tracks, and I'll brought in some hip hop. Actually, let's keep the hip hop train. I'm actually gonna switch things up. I'll start with the hip hop track. Just kind of keep the flow, the rhythm of the flow, and the flow sick. I don't know. I'll start with Timey's Cinderella. This kind of dropped today, really. Like, I watched this on my phone at work, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to fit this in my list. And I actually ended up deleting another song that I wasn't really necessarily super enthused about. It just caught my attention. But just to talk about this track, Timey with Cinderella. This has that kind of the very cool, interesting instrumental. It has kind of this brass that I was trying to pin where what it reminded me of, but it kind of reminds me of that brass instrumental for Ariana Grande Latte Macchiato problem. One less problem with that, like that whole thing. But it kind of in a different style, and it's Timey being the rapper. And I liked it. I like this song. It kind of has a good energy to it. She has a very cool energy and attitude when she raps, especially lately. Yeah, she looks wonderful. Yeah. Yeah.
Because she does look lovely, but she looks mad uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like,
oh yeah.
And it shows. It shows hard. Like, that is just very clearly not something she would, like, wears. Like, she looks and carries herself like a girl who generally wears jeans and a t-shirt, maybe a hair, like, but like in a tight bodysuit, she just looked out of place. Like you look at some girls and they try to wear a dress, and you're just like, the fuck? Like, you just kind of look at them like, nah, don't do that. Like,
yeah.
Like, and that's kind of how I was watching this video. I'm just like, yeah, Timey, no, just go ahead and go put on a t-shirt and some jeans, girl. Like, you just look uncomfortable, girl. Like,
yeah, she kind of does. But the song's good. The song, the song's good. It has cool energy to it. I don't know. Well, what did you think, Kaz?
Like I said, I think the song is good, but I was very distracted by how uncomfortable she looked in the fucking video. It kept coming back to me. I'm just like, she doesn't want to wear that. Who talked her into it? Like,
yeah. So hopefully, if she does go on, performs it, she's wearing something that she'll enjoy a little bit better and feel more comfortable, more like herself.
I'm not saying Timey doesn't wear tight clothing. I've seen her in some other stuff, but just that particular outfit, it looked like she came out with like a really long coat on at first and was like, all right, are we ready? All right, man. Fuck, dude. Don't fucking laugh, dude. Like, and then took it off. Like, it just looked like it was that. Like,
yeah.
And like all her homies were just like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah. Yeah, another cool song. Next up, kind of, I guess, a connection to hip hop. Next up, we have the subunit for the group IOI. IOI being the group I, to this point, have not really cared about from a show that I really didn't care about, Produce 101. and whose most famous song I despise, and whose debut song I mostly just dislike.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just dumb and generic. They had come out with like a teaser for this song, and it caught my attention for very obvious reasons. IOI with a song called "What a Man," paren, good man, and paren. If you're thinking what I'm thinking, then you're right. If you're thinking what I think you're thinking, then you're correct. It does in fact sample the very same song that Salt and Peppa sampled for the chorus to their and En Vogue's song, "What a Man." What a man, what a mighty good man. He's a mighty good man. Which, that being said, they actually make good use of the sample. Like, the song is not bad. It surprised me because I have not, like, so far, like, IOI has been like, what is I no. like they've just been a ball of like annoyance and pestering. Like, the only thing that I've liked is certain personalities, but specifically Sejong on Talents for Sale, have been fantastic, and others have seemed to be going forward to being catching their attention, being like personalities worth checking out. But musically and as a group, I'm not cared. But this subunit and this track, it's actually a pretty good track. I actually like it. Like, it had a good energy and it had a good vibe. Like, that's usually what I like to say about a lot of songs, but there's a reason. It just kind of what gets my attention. It had a good like a fierce attitude. Like, their debut was very much the cutesy, like, debut era Sonyashide, like, to the point where a lot of people accuse them of ripping off the Sonyashides into the New World for Dreamgirls, especially for the videos. But I think this one is actually a song worth checking out and enjoyable to listen to. And the chorus, the hook, is actually used really well. I don't know. What do you think, Kaz?
I actually, the first time I listened to it, I didn't listen to it the whole way through. I just kind of listened to the teaser, and it just was kind of filled with a what a man part, and I'm just like, like just hearing that part with nothing else, you're just kind of like, ugh. But hearing it all composed together and like the whole song, you're just like, oh, you know what? You did kind of use this in an interesting way. Like, I don't think they understood the original theme of the song, but
it's kind of like it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of conflicting.
Yeah, but is just it still fits, and there's some good funny moments of people not being able to say yes.
Yes. I think overall,
But the man, with the mighty good man, is he?
yes, he is. It's really well done, and I think hopefully this is a sign of better quality songs from this whole IOI thing. Because they certainly have the standing to be able to do mostly what they want, as long as they have the talent free from their other schedules, and they've got a ticking time clock on this. It's gonna go away after a year, so we'll have to see if they take advantage and get their full potential on. We'll see. Hopefully, good things going forward. Moving on. Speaking of, Sonyashide, speaking of my girls, of Girls' Generation, this last track is a commercial track. It's a song for Pantene. But it's a pretty damn good song for a commercial. It's the unexpected surprise subunit of Yuri and Seohyun for the song "Secret," and The funny thing is, if you didn't know it was a song, it was a commercial, you probably wouldn't be able to guess. You wouldn't get any context clues for it being a commercial, other than the really amazing hair flip shots. Which it's a song for Pantene, so of course it's gonna have that. I think it's a song it's better than it's supposed to be. It's better than it has any right to. But I think that shouldn't be. I imagine that another thing about it shouldn't be surprising, considering Sinishide have released songs that were specific for commercials that were of single release quality, like "Chocolate Love" is a classic, and they've had a few others that have "Soul" was a song for a Chinese
Ramen.
mobile game, but yeah, I think this is a really good song. It has a fun energy to it. They look fantastic, and the video is cool. It's kind of like old school SM in a video in a box. It's almost like it's crazy that we're getting this. We could get semi nostalgic, or at least I could get semi nostalgic about the box. But it is kind of like that. I don't know. What did you think, Kaz?
It's not bad. It is definitely commercially,
Yeah.
and there's nothing really wrong with that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's better than it has any right to be. And I think that's mainly my point. Plus, those hair shots are amazing. It's that slow motion, like
For slow.
yeah, good use of slow mo. And good. I love Yudi getting some time to shine. I love me some Yudi. Yeah, that's all there is to talk about that track. And that's all for what's new with us. We're gonna transition over to our headlines. If I remember which button to press. We're gonna transition over to our headlines. Talk about some topical topics. So join us, won't you? Hello. Welcome to Headlines. We talk about some topics, talk about some things going on, talk about some headlines. First headline, it's just a cool article that I wanted to kind of bring to people's attention. Won't need to go too in depth, but it's a cool article from Korean Indie. This is, simple. Want more Korean indie bands in the United States? Buy their music. It's as simple as that. He kind of goes through some great explanations on his history and kind of like his thoughts. It's kind of a little editorial article. Kind of why Korean industry isn't as popular coming to the U.S. and things like that. Kind of put things into perspective. But ultimately, the message, the bottom line is that it's you gotta support the artists, especially indie artists, directly. You gotta buy their shit.
This isn't a new concept to us, to me and you in particular, to us and the people who, for some reason, listen to us. That it's not a new concept, right? Because we talk about this all the time. We talk about the media and the marketing and the understanding of all these things in if you buy the music, you get more of that thing. Like, and it's all about buying the music, either whether it's about buying the digital or the physical copy or whatever. And we're always talking about, well, this market is doing this and that market is doing that. And the Chinese market buys more physical copies. So that's why they always come first. We're always talking about these things. Sometimes they're really quick comments. Sometimes they drive our conversations, especially in these headline segments and sometimes in Hallyujuku Talks when we talk about albums and things like that. But this is a thing that's not new to us. But I've realized in the changing age, like even in our time growing up, PD, like there was a time where the only way you got music was to buy it. You know, they're literally like you went to the fucking FYE, the Best Buy, the fucking record store, and you bought shit. And then what happened was the FYEs and the Best Buys started having cheaper prices, so you didn't go to the mom and pop record stores anymore to pick up shit because they didn't have the weird eclectic shit because they couldn't afford to carry it. But you know, like, and then you start shopping in the Tower Records and all these bigger media places that are trying to sell you particular music, and you buy into that, and you know, and it just is all this big wraparound to where we came to digital, you know, and the Kazas and the LimeWires and the, you know, those things where getting music on the internet became much more ubiquitous. But it also drove this ability to discover music from different places. And now we're in this place where people are getting into buying records and buying albums again like that. Like I know a lot of people younger than me and PD, like significantly younger, that are like, hey, I really like that band. I want to buy merch. I want to buy their record. I want to buy a vinyl fucking of theirs, you know, because I'm that into that band and shit like that. So, but there's still a large majority of the market who goes out there and just gets music off the internet with no thought or recourse to it, you know?
Yeah. Like
it's changing. It is changing. But it's not changing fast enough.
Yeah.
It's not making that pendulum swing back in the other direction fast enough.
Yeah. And there are places to buy the music, you know, digitally. You know, some artists are on Bandcamp, especially Korean indie artists. I know that Neon Bunny's album, I believe, is on Bandcamp, and there's also services like Vinyl, which have a lot of Korean artists, like mainstream artists, and a lot of OSTs and a lot of things. And also a very interesting app. But they have a lot of, you know, Korean indie artists like the Cox, like Love X Stereo, like I pointed back there. That, you know, if you see a band that you like and you want to go check them out, you want to support them, you can buy, you know, an album. You can buy the Cox's new album, you know, like right there, and get a download and, you know, support them, and the money goes to them, you know, and they get that monetary and moral support from you. So the opportunities are out there to support your artists directly, especially indie artists. So do it.
Yeah. It's not hard. Like you only make it harder by trying to be silly and trying to outthink the monster when you're not outthinking at all. You know, like.
But yeah,
it's a good about hurting yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, go check out that article on Korean Indie, or just check out KoreanIndie.com in general. I don't go there as often as I really should, because they're just a cool website and a cool Twitter account, and, you know, lets you know about cool things that are happening in Korean Indie. But yeah, moving on to the fun stuff in the K-pop world. The Legend files suit against company currently living in dorm with no electricity. Boy group The Legend recently revealed that they filed a lawsuit for contract nullification against their company SS Entertainment. Their reps have charged that The Legend have been unable to get lessons. Others in the company are also filing lawsuits, so it's not just them. You know, there's other people. They have no managers. They have no transportation. Their dorm has no gas and electricity, and they fail to receive whatever a settlement table is. You know, a lot of big statements from the legend and things like that. It's sort of sad that this didn't go mainstream until now, and it was filed a month ago. Kind of speaks to all this kind of shady shit that can go down when companies are out of sight and out of mind of the public. This is kind of crazy. Like, I don't know.
Is it unexpected?
Probably not.
No, it's just the only unexpected thing in here is, like the article says, is how long they were able to keep this buried, and that's only because they were an unknown kind of agency, as opposed to like everybody's so busy still looking under the big rocks that they don't notice all the dirt under the medium-sized rocks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like everybody's still so busy like, hey, lift that JYP rock up again. I think I see something under there. And then like somebody finally turns around and they're like, dude, there's a bunch of dirt under this rock over here. Like,
yeah. Oh my God. It's crazy to think that like you sign up to be, you know, a contractor with this like boy group. You know, you want to be in this agency. You want to debut as a pop singer, as part of a group. You know, you think you're going to be an idol. You know, you're a boy, so you're in a boy group. You figure, well, we got our, you know, we have an advantage because, you know, in the pop world, you know, that we kind of can access that fandom, and we create our own little fandom that will sustain us. But then you find yourself like in a dark dorm with no gas, like trying to nullify your contract. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not actually living in that dorm and just living at home, like with their parents and shit. Like they just kind of moved back home, and then, you know, they just haven't said anything to the agency about moving out of the dorm. Because I can't imagine them actually living in that dorm under those conditions, unless like none of their family is in Seoul. I don't know.
Well, usually, sometimes most people's families aren't in Seoul. They're usually outside of Seoul for most boy groups.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So I don't know.
There's generally quite a few that are from Seoul, but Seoul is a pretty expensive place to live. So
yeah. But you know what? I don't know. We don't know. What do you have any further thoughts, Kaz?
No, not really. I mean, it's a very expected thing. I hope they get what they need, and I hope they get to keep working. That's number one. And number two is I hope they get what they're owed, and I hope they get compensation for having to live in like just this shitty.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully good things happen to them. Fighting. But moving on. To kind of this hot mess of a thing that happened this past week. Well, actually, this past couple days. Tiffany posts Japan's rising sun flag on Korea's National Liberation Day. Tiffany, apparently uncomfortable with her likability being at an all-time high, decided to post the Japanese flag on Instagram on Korea's National Liberation Day. That could be argued as just being a mistake related to being in Japan. But then she followed that up by posting the rising sun flag of Imperial Japan on Snapchat. That's less than optimal. I mean, it's a thing. Shit that hit the fan. She released an apology. Kind of going through it. She sincerely apologized for the mistake. You know, put it on Instagram. She knows everyone's watching her words and actions. She's keeping things in mind. She's gonna reflect on herself, things like that. And that being said, she did something dumb and she fucked up. Of course, people can't leave well enough alone, and it got extra as fuck. With people swearing that she has pledged her allegiance to the Empire of Japan. She was at a rally of, like that she's, an imperialistic Japanese sympathizer that basically, well, not knows the exact same words, but people have been hitting her with death threats, saying that she deserved to have her mom die and shit like that. She actually, probably mostly because SM hates controversy and it rather plays things safe, but they have decided, her and the show she was on East Slam Dunk, which is a show that I've been watching, have decided to part ways. They kind of are, and the show's going to continue as 5. I imagine the hell. I can only imagine the hell that was raised by Jesse when that decision was made. Like, because she's East Coast as fuck, and she would not pull any punches. She is New York, New Jersey as fuck, and I wish I could have been in that room. But she also had people defending her, kind of like Ojun, the author, kind of putting out some facts. She made some mistakes. She said, "Is Tiffany a government official? If you think so, give them pension. Tiffany's getting treated like this. Like she said, it's kind of suspicious that she gets all this as a young woman. Wondering if it was the guy, how much of it would have been the same. I
think in one of these situations, an entertainer would have gotten a lot of shit for it.
Yeah.
I think if it was, I think it's the level of entertainer that you are, kind of drives that, and people, like you said, when you're an entertainer that people have a lot of love for, and with a very decisive kind of thing like this, like we've talked about the like kind of weirdness between Japan and Korea, so like that's just one of those that gets into nationalism, so people get a little bit weary about those kind of things.
It basically, and I should say, that Rising Sun flag that she quote unquote posted on her in Snapchat was that she basically did the geotag on Snapchat. If you've ever been to Snapchat, because she was in Tokyo, so she did look, I'm in Tokyo, Japan, and Snapchat decided that their thing designed for Tokyo, Japan, should have the Rising Sun flag of all things. So what the fuck, Snapchat?
I mean, but you can't really put that on Snapchat. Like,
you can't put this mistake on Snapchat. I still say it's one of those things that's like, you got to be a little bit understanding of the situation. You're a global company, and this is not a good thing. This, of course, she has to. She fucked up. Right. Tiffany fucked up. Now, does she deserve all of the shit that's coming on her, like the death threats and like all it? No. No, like she not like she went to like the what's it called, the shrine, like the, I think the was it the whatever shrine, the shrine, that the Yasukuni shrine that has all like those war criminals and stuff that people get on Shinzo Abe's shit because he goes to those shrines, and rightfully so, because there are war criminals in there. She picked the wrong geotag. It was dumb. She should know better. She should be mindful, but she's not. It was not. She's not trying to bring back the Second Empire of Japan.
I attested to human error. It fucking happened.
Yeah. Once again, we bring back something that we've used for a title for an episode before. Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malice what could easily be attributed to incompetence.
Right.
Yeah. Tiffany, I still love you. You fucked up, but I still love you. Fighting. Hopefully you get through this. hopefully you'll learn a little bit. But moving on. So this is an interesting article. It's going to be interesting because this is about a group I'm not familiar with. Again, and I doubt you're familiar with Kaz.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with them. I've heard the name a few times,
but it's definitely an interesting thing to observe. I guess probably especially as people who aren't invested or as familiar. An aging boy band calls it quits, but Japan can't let go. And you kind of understand, understanding just the history, you understand why. For nearly 3 decades, millions of Japanese have clamored for their every album, lined up with breathless anticipation for their concerts, and gathered on Monday nights for their hit television show. Now the nation is awash with anguish over word that SMAP, Japan's longest-running boy band, if it could still be called that with its youngest member pushing 40, is splitting up. The news has dominated newspaper headlines and television talk shows since the band's announcement this month. Even the mayor of Tokyo and 2 members of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's cabinet have weighed in. One said he was worried about the effect on the Japanese economy, the world's third largest. "We will not let them stop," a grieving fan wrote in one of more than a dozen petitions on change.org, pleading the aging heartthrobs to remain together. "If we let them go and disband, it means Japan is finished." To understand the bedlam unfolding here, think of the Beatles breaking up, the airing of the final episode of Seinfeld, and the conscious uncoupling of Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin all rolled into one. I didn't know that was a thing people cared that much about, Gwyneth Paltrow being, yeah. The end of an era on the Japanese cultural landscape. SMAP's most famous saccharine single, "The Only Flower in the World," is regularly taught in Japan's schools. But SMAP is not only, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce the name, but whatever. It's not just a wildly popular band whose albums have sold more than 35 million copies, making him one of the most successful musical acts in Japanese history. For 2 decades, its 5 members, Masahiro Nakai, Takuya Kimura, Goro Inagaki, Tsuyoshi Kusanagi, and Shingo Katori, have also hosted one of Japan's top-rated television programs, SMAP X Max, a family-friendly variety show on which they cook for celebrity guests, compete in games, perform comedic skits, and, of course, sing. But yeah, it goes on and on. Talk about
clips of them of the variety show and stuff like that on TV before. So it's just one of those things. It's very aging entertainers, like, just who are tired and done, man. They want to move on and do other things and spend time with their families and, like, and right now people can't let it go, and I'm pretty sure it'll go on for a little while, and then at some point everybody will just be like, all right.
It's kind of, but it's kind of cool, and I imagine to see how much a musical group can kind of like affect an entire country like that, and how many people can like care and like, and it's just kind of cool to see that it matters. They're a pop group. That's okay. Pop groups can lift people's lives and be important to people, and can be a source of like energy and joy for people. So don't grieve, fans of SMAP. Feel joy and cherish the time you had with this group. I should probably listen to a few of their songs at some point. We'll see. But yes, that brings us to an end of another episode of Hallyujuku. Let me go back to this. Kaz.
Hey.
What do you got going on in the world?
Right now, I have a lot of editing going on. Like, here, how can I quickly do? I was going to show you my screen. But yeah, I've just been doing some editing on the photos I took at the lovely convention as Otakon. A little bit sad because I didn't take as many as I am used to taking, but I still took a bunch, and it was really fun. I had a great time hanging out with all my friends and doing all those things and having fun and doing all that good stuff. So
the fun con stuff, the stuff that I do lament that we didn't get to do it for ASIN again this year. But at least we have TwitchCon. Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy if I get to do that. But so I'm doing some editing. I've already put out a couple of photos. There should be some more coming out tomorrow, and then hopefully get a bunch of them, get them posted and stuff like that, so people can start seeing them. So for right now, go check out the Instagram, go check out the 500px page to see what I've posted so far, and then that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah, you can check out all the info at King Kaz at various places. I'm at Peter Rave. Keep an eye out for things. Probably going to do another beta test of the kind of dumb little project me and Brett are doing, PB&J, PD Brett and Junk. Where we kind of shoot the shit a little bit, and then we talk about a random novelty sport. And in our live stream, we will watch it, and you can watch it with us, and get our content.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Really odd fucking sports.
Yeah. We might do something based on the Olympics. I don't know. The thing is, the watching it live, even though we do it on DCTV, I don't think we're even safe on DCTV from NBC Olympics. Like grasp, like other things that might be safe. I don't know if like we're safe from the cease and desist machine that is NBC Olympics. NBC and Universal when it comes to Olympic stuff, but we'll see. We'll try it. Worst come to worst, we'll make Sergeant Muffin mad and make him get a nasty letter. My bad. In advance. But yeah, the show is Hallyujuku. He's King Kaz. I'm PD Rave. KPopPodcast.com. Really easy way to share with your friends. Share the website name. Hallyujuku.com. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, all over the place. Rebelli.net for this and other shows. Rebelli TV on YouTube, on Twitch. I think I might.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
We're gonna pause that. I think I might do. I streamed a couple of times. This crazy mod for Skyrim, Enderall. This total conversion mod, whole new world, whole new story, fully voice acted. It's really interesting. If work allows, I might stream more of that. So keep an eye out for that. Rebelli TV on Twitch and things like that. iTunes, Stitcher, all over the place. Until next time, hasta los huevos.
Give it to me straight, Doctor.
Fighting.
Why, I think you're crazy.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Boom, bye.